Oh, hello! I almost didn't see you there. I'm Harry Brown, but everyone just calls me Brown. And who might you be? And what awfully strange clothes you're wearing. Here at Wesley, we pride ourselves on our appearances, as you can see. From my grey stockings to my shiny black shoes, to my trousers and my blazer, and my knitted tie, and my stopwatch. Oh, is that the time already? I've been up since 6:30. I'm a boarder, you see, and we're up at 6:30 to do an hour's study every day. Then we're off to breakfast. School commences at 9 o'clock, and then we have dinner from 12:30 to 1. That's where I'm coming from right now. I'm on my way to scripture lessons. You've chosen a great time to come and visit Wesley. It's 1895, and we're celebrating our Golden Jubilee. 50 years of Wesley being open. Well, I must be going off to scripture lessons, so I'll see you later.
Oh!
And who are you?
I'm Florence Forsyth, of course. The first lady to enter Wesley College. Well, nearly. The first ladies entered in 1911, you see, but I entered in 1912.
Ladies in Wesley?
Yes, they wanted Methodists to mix, but we're very divided by the boys. Well, we do domestic science, they do biology and chemistry. Well, while we do hockey, they may play rugby in the fields.
Oh, how very strange that there's ladies in Wesley now.
Not so strange. Do you like my outfit?
Yes, very nice. And what year are you from?
1912.
1912?
Yes.
Well, this is 1895. It's almost like that book, The Time Traveller, by H.G. Wells. He was friends with George Bernard Shaw, who went to Wesley.
You must know my granddad. He was the principal of Wesley.
Your grandfather? Who was your grandfather?
Reverend Dr. Hollingsworth, of course.
Reverend Dr. Hollingsworth?
Yes.
He's the principal right now.
Yes.
Oh, that's very interesting.
Anyway, I must go to my singing lessons.
Singing lessons?
Yes. Would you like to hear me sing?
Oh no, I don't think it would be very proper for a girl to be seen singing.
Girls. Oh, girl.
Oh my gosh!
Hi, the name's Dench. Arthur Dench. No? Okay. Well, I better be off to the Ivy Baths now. Bye.
Oh my gosh. What was he wearing? More like not wearing anything at all.
Well, this is what happens when you let boys and girls in the same school.
Oh my gosh. And I studied deportment, the most important subject in the school for girls. To study self-respect and ladylike manners, my father would be so angry. And they want Methodists to mix? Oh gosh.
Dear me, you look terribly distressed.
There was a boy, in his nakedness. You should go.
A boy? What else would it be about? Well, I suppose we can't all have them at our feet. William!
Sorry, Miss Doherty. How's the practice going? Oh, wow. That's not a bad swing for a lady.
What's that supposed to mean?
I just mean a lady like yourself.
Elaborate.
Oh, I mean a fine lady I wouldn't assume would be doing such a strenuous task such as tennis.
Oh, William, you really do know how to flatter the ladies.
Well, I try. However, how come you're here? Should you not be in the sports hall with the other girls, where you should be?
Why doesn't it surprise me that you support and conform to the patriarchal rules? It's 1919! For goodness sake.
Those are some large words for a lady, Alice. Did you learn them in elocution? I could teach you some more if you wish.
I wouldn't be too sure. We're not even allowed to eat in the same dining hall.
What?
Who are you?
From the 1960s, it doesn't matter. Did you just say you're not allowed to eat in the same dining hall as boys?
Or take the same disciplines, or use the same facilities, or breathe the same air in a 3-meter radius, or acknowledge each other's existence.
But, I mean, how are you supposed to, you know, enjoy the benefits of co-ed?
Oh, we mustn't even think of such things. Maybe in another 30 years. Unfortunately. Isn't that so, William?
Unfortunately, Mrs. May, I believe I'm still allowed to admire your beauty, Miss Doherty.
Well, Are you just going to continue being a peeping Tom, or are you going to do something with yourself?
Oh, no. I'm here to play tennis, if you are.
Well, I wouldn't be dandying myself around the grounds with a racket if it weren't the case.
Well, I suppose we'd better head on and up to the courts and play, shall we?
What was all that racket? I could hear it all the way from the domestic science room. Oh. Hello, my name's Eileen McHugh. You might know me from the hockey team? No? Oh, well, we're very good. We've got 2 games left until the cup final. I love hockey. I keep it all written down in my scrapbook. You see, it seems to be the only place I get any freedom around to the school. I live in the dormitories, and there's 12 girls to a room. Even when we're washing our faces in the morning, we're shoulder to shoulder. You'd think we'd appreciate it in winter, but the only thing that can warm you up then is if a teacher takes pity on you and puts a hot brick at the end of your feet. Not to mention I always seem to be in trouble. It's not my fault I'm not used to electric lighting yet. You see, I live in Valentia Island with my grandparents, and we use oil lighting there. Although there's a new link with Newfoundland, so many men and their families are coming over to work, and we're slowly catching up with the 20th century. It is a bit of a pain though, getting to Wesley every term. But there's only 2, and the train ride is dreadful. My sister goes to Alexandria College, and she's got quite a bad train ride too. Although she's coming from north with my parents. She tells me that some girls are able to study maths and rural sciences there, but I don't believe it.
Excuse me, are you finished here? I have something I want to say too.
Excuse me, who are you?
I'm Norman McCrae. I'm just coming from Burlington House. Don't I look the part? Can't you tell by my double-breasted blazer, my baggy grey flannels, my blue shirt? Oh, and don't forget, my braces.
Where do you think you're from?
I'm from 1949, just after the Second World War.
Sorry, did you say Second World War?
Oh, you didn't know? There were 2. I heard during the First World War that the senior cup team went out to take arms. Unfortunately, some didn't make it back. But I'm from the Second World War.
Did you take up arms too?
No, I was a little too young.
What's that around your neck?
It's my tie. I customize it myself. It's my skinny tie.
Girls. Another girl.
What are you wearing? You look like you're from a lifetime ago.
What do you mean? From 1912, and I'm on the swim team. And I'm actually quite a good swimmer at that, as you can tell from my many of badges. And I'm also quite good on my feet on stage. What did I say? But I'll say, I'll see you later.
At least your uniform was better than his.
Yeah. Nice cardigan. Did your mother knit that?
My goodness! Of course my mother knitted my cardigan. The war has just ended. Money is scarce. And she made my pinafore. Fine craftsmanship, might I add. 'Tis a shame though, it's slightly too long.
Too long? It barely reaches your knees.
What are you talking about? I can barely see my shoes. And what is that monstrosity on your head?
Oh, this is my domestic science uniform.
Oh, don't mention that subject.
Why not?
Not after what
Oh! Aren't you that girl that hit the mouse in the domestic science class?
That girl! That girl! My name is Flora Thompson, and that is Miss Thompson to you.
Ooh, Miss Thompson.
And I did not just hit that mouse. I grabbed that sweeping brush and I whacked it across the room and it splattered all over the wall. and all that teacher could do was jump up on a table and scream.
Weren't you also in the senior choir that time?
Oh, that time, during the prize giving. But might I add, even though the benches collapsed, we sang every single note, and it was pitch perfect. So there.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, what is all this?
It's the 1940s. I'm a lad. I'm in the dramatic society. I'm used to being in the center of the stage.
The Dramatic Society. I was thinking of joining that this year.
Really? Maybe we could be in the same production together sometime.
Hate to burst your bubble, folks, but mixed drama isn't going to come into Wesley until much later. Speaking of, my name's Lucy Bradshaw. The pleasure's all yours. Did you get a look at these fossils? I mean, their lives were so backwards. Of course, by the time you get around to my day, things are practically 100% modern. Well, aside from the fact that us girls still have to live at Tullamarine, which is pretty grim. I mean, the sheets probably haven't been changed since old Eileen's day. But other than that, I mean, girls and boys mingle at lunchtimes, go on educational trips together. Girls are allowed to do real experimental science. And the uniform's not too shabby either. Of course, there is still some room for improvement. For example, us girls are supervised 24/7 at Tullamarine. But when I grow up, I'm going to be a politician fighting for women's liberation, and I'm going to put a stop to all that. The best thing is that Wesley is moving campus in a few years. The boys already live at Lovehood, and they won't stop boasting about it at lunches. But they say the campus is amazing. Big, flat roofs, wide, modern windows, yellow bricks. Oh, I can't wait for the future.
And on that note, brought to you by that girl who kind of looks like me. Here we are in 2020. And what a year alone this has been. But even before all of the trials and tribulations that Wesley's had to face in the past year, the rich and extensive history, filled with interesting little nuggets of wisdom, is plain for everyone to see. But what you might have missed is that some of the characters that we've dealt with here today are actually real people from history with amazing stories to tell. The likes of our Harry Brown, the eldest of the bunch, would have had a very different Wesley experience to what we know today. After graduation, he may have had the bad luck of being just young enough to still have been drafted for World War I, but then again, he might have escaped that fate. Next, we had the elegant Florence Forsyth, who started with us as the second Wesley girl ever in 1912. While in Wesley, she had a keen interest in music and went on to study in London before returning to Dublin to set up her own Pembroke School of Singing and embark on a radio career with 2RN, the precursor to RTE. Though her radio career had to end upon marriage, she enjoyed a long and successful life before passing at the ripe age of 100 in 1994. Around the same time period, we had the dashing young Reginald Arthur Dench in his swimming gear. He met his future wife, Olive, on the stage in Wesley, somehow having gotten around the gender separation rules, and they went on to get married and have a daughter, who you may know as M in the 007 films. That's correct. Dame Judi Dench is by blood a Wesley relative. In fact, Wesley couples eventually getting married and having children was more common than you may think. Perhaps young Alice and William flirting over a tennis game would meet the same fate, something the original think tank behind mixing male and female Wesleyans were hoping to achieve. But only after graduation, of course. The next remarkable figure was Eileen McHugh, who scrapbooked her entire life in Wesley to keep for the years to come. She graduated from Trinity in 1931, working as a chauffeur for the rich, to make money while studying there. She became the first woman registrar on Sir Patrick Dunn's Hospital in 1931 and died in 2007, aged 99. After World War II, money, as everywhere, was tight in Ireland, as demonstrated by Flora in her handmade uniform. Though Norman, with his braces, definitely still managed to scrub up well, it was a hard period for Irish life, but much better times were ahead, as society hurtled towards modernity. For the likes of Lucy Bradshaw, the cultural and social revolutions that spread worldwide through the media in the 1960s meant that it was finally possible to comprehend the mere concept of being a teenager, something that hadn't really been accessible to young people until at earliest the 1950s. This was around when the more recognisable form of secondary school life began to come into being, when we were finally free to be original and live while we were young, something that we are all grateful for and hopefully enjoying up to now, though with a 2-metre distance, of course. Indeed, the history of Wesley is a long and winding road, with fascinating gems and ties to wider history all along the way.